All right, hello and welcome back. So this is uh, our next session after we had lost one of our faithful members, Gringus, to the return of a demon lord. We managed to quell that return through some very interesting use of our uh, three-jeweled amulet. I was able to channel some kind of divine energy or some kind of energy from ancient age of Arcanum that was able to halt the spell that was bringing back the level of permanency to the gateway that the Demon Lord was coming through. It was a very interesting time as we were finding ourselves faced with something that was way beyond our abilities. As a result, Gringus did not make it, but we did still end up successful. We left, continued our trek south, where we had encountered a couple of other little things. We had seen a giant Udak, a giant ape-like demon as well, where we fought a rock as well as a bunch of little invisible turning little imps that kind of harassed us a bit as the rock was diving in trying to kill people. We survived that encounter again. We did discover a nice little item hidden in the corpse. We did save some samples and stuff for later study as well. And then we went on to continue south across the little more wide open area of the plains. We had seen a troop of mastodons being harried by some flying beasts. I think we had identified them to be gloomstalkers, which we had found a corpse of on the road earlier that had been, it looks like had been taken down by a large force. Some magical fire marks and a flurry of arrow and spears and the like. Had taken it just one of them down, and we saw several of them chasing this herd of mastodon across the plains. We just kind of circumvented that and managed to make our way further into our trek, just finally making it to the outer rim of the grove that holds the caravan, the famous Emerald caravan. And that's where we pick up today. So, night had already set, but we kind of pushed on just a little past the dark, knowing that our destination was close. That and having just seen the Gloomstalkers harrying those mastodons, there was no reason to stay out in the plains when we could push that extra little bit. As you come in to this circle of trees, it isn't long where you can see several Aurora Watch guardsmen erecting palisades and implanting spikes into the ground all throughout the woods. As you kind of come in, it like you had, having come through this way before, you had seen Aurora Watch guards here continuously. There's usually at least one patrol here at all times. 6 to 12 people. But as you enter this circle of woods, just on this side alone as you enter, which is a massive grove, this side you can see dozens all over the place. Aurora Watch guards working, laboring, filling up the woods with different defenses as you enter this circle. Something there had never really been defenses of any kind before, so this is definitely something new. As you kind of enter in, one of the watch captains stops you. Hail! Who are you and what is your business?
We come from Chagao. We're heading to Baxel's Hand. You have to refresh me. Was there anybody we were supposed to meet in between, or
We did save the little
justice?
elf critter, and she said to speak her name at the next
Justice sent us as well. And I see, wait for a reaction to see if he seems to know this person.
Roll me an insight check.
Okay, one second. I wasn't ready to roll things.
You can see the eyebrows raised just a little as the head kind of cocks just to one side. There's definitely recognition of the name Justice, as you said it. You say that Justice sent you, huh? Justice was here not even 2 days ago. How is it that they sent you from Jigao, a week's journey from here?
Well, we saw Justice somewhere in between, not from Jigao. We were already sent
I see.
by Elder Ushu, but we did run into her.
I see.
What she has is very fast, so I'm not sure how much distance she could cover.
And you made your way through the Emerald Loop path with little incident?
I wouldn't say that.
I see.
You all seem to be preparing for many, many little incidents.
Might not say little incidents. There is definitely danger amassing. But yet you made it here. So it must mean that you're either good at skirting danger or barreling through it.
Probably a little of both.
I see.
Based on what we've seen, though, I don't think these little sticks and stones that you're erecting is going to do much good.
Why don't you elaborate? You can see that the watch captain is very, you're getting the idea that like he doesn't disbelieve any of you, but he's very, scrutinizing of all the details here for some reason.
I don't know how much Rivka would be able to tell, but just looking, probably not. Doesn't know me that well. I'm holding my tongue a little bit on a few things because they're not going to seem believable.
Well, any ground defenses isn't going to keep out the creatures that we saw flying overhead.
And what creatures are those?
Big ones with very pointy teeth.
Now that's pretty good. I'm not sure if we know what they were actually called. I don't have them in my notes. I know I've got Urdak blood and Hezru blood, but that wasn't either one of those, was it?
No.
Hezru was the demon.
I believe the name you're searching for was the Rock.
That was one thing, yes. We had the Rock and then the Gloomstalkers. So that was like the giant bat-like, the bat-like demons.
Yeah, Gloomstalkers then.
Either way, they're creatures that don't belong in this realm.
Creatures from the other realms. And what do you know about them?
They're ugly, and we don't like them.
They have a lot of hit points.
Wait, that was
It
the fourth
is-
wall. Get back in there.
Oh, sorry.
Beings of chaos. Just pure fucking chaos. And they seem to be coming through more and more. This was supposed to be our easy path of the journey before we turned to Basilzan.
And what business do you have with Bazozan?
Research.
Research. You could see his eyes kind of narrow a little. And what would you want to research in Bazozan?
Ancient things that we apparently know very little about, but maybe someone there could.
I see.
We've
did
recently
help
acquired
Justice.
an artifact of unimaginable power, which portents of doom to come. We need to research. No, I don't say that.
How much of that do you say?
No,
No, no,
none of it.
zero,
None
zero.
of it.
I mean, like, what's he expecting us to say? We're not going to say all that shit. We're not telling him anything.
We helped Justice, and we were hoping that could be repaid with at least a place to sleep, maybe a chance to get some supplies.
So you say you helped Justice. And how could one of our best scouts be under duress that would need help from you?
2 or 3 more binders were on her, wild ones.
Some wild ones.
They seemed. Oh, hey, do we? What do we have from that? What do we keep? We got some skins because they had that.
And I unfurl some pelt.
Yeah, they were a little tainted, touched by chaos. It looks.
Touched by chaos, you say? No
Then I
mere
whip out
moorbounder
some-
could catch rice pudding. Of that I am sure.
Then I whip out the vial of blood. We've got blood and hide.
Yeah, I've got the Hezru blood as well.
I actually gave y'all the wrong picture. That was a regular rock, not the
Yeah,
Vo
I
rock.
didn't think that was the right one.
That's
That's
There
more
we go.
like it.
That's more like it. There you
Oh,
go.
there's.
That's the regular rock. Was the giant bird. This is a fiend. The bird like
Regular rock is carry off a mammoth in its talons, right?
easily. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
birds as big as mountains.
Hmm.
Yeah, we ran into one of those in another campaign. That's
Yep. Also known as the Sky Titans, is the regular rocks. They're pretty cool. But yes, anyway, that's yeah. So you had the nasty demon fiend one. So you go ahead and you're gonna show them the
Pelt.
razor-hided pelt of the feral moorbounders that you found.
yeah.
The captain says, interesting, and so he kind of looks at it and says, "This is reasonably fresh. Last couple of days."
When we saw Justice, yeah.
Very well. Good hands. The Aurora Watch welcomes your help and your attendance. Rest while the resting is good. Enter. We'll call you if something awry happens. We hope you heed that call. You can kind of see, kind of narrows his eyes at you a little bit again.
I assure him that we will.
You see, kind of about this time, you see a patrol of the Aurora Watch members, and then you can see what looks to be some kind of high-ranking officer, because they're in some kind of elaborate dress, more than just the more muted colors and very practical and tactile gear that all the other Aurora Watch members have been in. This one's got these, fluted colors and things are, emblazoned and sticking off, and it looks wild and jagged. It almost looks like, your fantasy armor that doesn't actually do anything but just looks crazy. As kind of patrolling around the outside with a large group of them. Hicks! What are these adventurers doing And why are you giving them shit?
Did he call the guy Hicks, like his guard's name is Hicks, or did he call us hillbillies?
I think a guard's name is Hicks.
It sounds like the guard. It seems as though the guard's name is Hicks, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Lord Commander. Just testing. You never can be too careful these days. You can't have suspicions in all of those that might actually help. Or those that have helped, it seems. Come, friends. Ignore him and be welcomed. Your presence is a boon.
I bow.
I roll up the pelt.
So is he just kind of welcoming us to the town, or are we walking with him now?
No, he's just he's gonna continue with the patrol around. He's just circling and talking to people as they move from place to place. Just kind of leaves it at that and continues on with the rest of his patrol.
So I guess we just kind of walking. I mean, how much of a? I don't know. Is this just all military fort? Is there?
Yeah,
defenders?
like you're still kind of on the outside coming into this giant grove, and so on the outside, all you've seen is Aurora Watch members at this point, erecting palisades and burying sticks in the ground, which seems somewhat ludicrous, as pointed out, if for any kind of fathomable defense.
So I guess we just find a small area that we can tuck away in for the night. And maybe look at what people have as far as resources and supplies. See if there's an armor in the camp.
Yeah, you know from past experience that there is usually some traveling wagons and things like that in a clearing in the center of the grove. If you pass through some of the forest, you could probably make your way towards that clearing pretty quickly. It doesn't take. It's not a giant forest by any means. It is just a grove, but maybe half an hour walk from the edge where you are towards the center to get to it.
Is it so late that are things set up? Is it late enough that we should probably just sleep and do it in the morning?
That's what I think. I think we should just go in the morning.
I suppose it's been a very long day.
Alright, well, let's set up camp then. Best deals are early.
Alright, so you're going to take a series of watch and set up camp here right on the outskirts of the of the grove, and then try to go in the morning. Okay, sounds good. So let me go ahead and alright, let me go ahead and get a set of perception checks from everyone as they each take their watch in turn.
I'll take first or second if someone's already got first.
I'll take last, just before the dawn. Forget how to roll it. Oh, there it went. Uh-oh.
Perceptive.
I do want to do a couple little things on my off time when I'm not on
Tina and I fell asleep during. It's been a long walk. You were pushing us too hard.
What would you like to do, Kaz?
I'm just I spent a lot of nights looking at the little amulet, and I kind of start just kind of taking more notes on it, looking at it, and I kind of get a little idea in my head. Balasar would probably understand what's going on, but then I would just grab some what little bit of paper I have and just start making some notes, and occasionally staring off at the stars and like getting hit with a little bit of inspiration, and then writing out some arcane things.
Okay, so a little more, just trying to get some more details, and when you get your notes, that way you have some reference points to look when you actually go to research. Is that the idea, or?
I'm sort of got a spell idea in my head, and the next time I actually level, but I'm just sort of preluding for that.
All right then. The party makes it through another night. Early in the morning, you can hear some trumpets from what seems to be the center of the grove. And as you do, and as these trumpets kind of go off, one of the soldiers passes by your camp, and then Brutus is kind of here at the end of your watch, as you're preparing for your meditations for the morning. You see that one of the soldier kind of comes over and kind of pokes you with the butt of his spear that he's got, and hey, no
I
laziness
stand.
day.
What did he say?
He said, no laziness today.
I stand and stretch. What
What's
news?
significant about
Yeah,
today?
yeah. I say, what news?
You could just say, you just see him kind of chuckle.
Mhm.
Just nothing about today, we hope. But preparations must be made. Be on with you.
All right, we got to get out of here. I wake the others if they're not already awake.
Alright, so you gather everybody up. It is very early, so you're looking at, maybe just the slightest tendrils coming up over the horizons. So here, just inside the forest line, it still seems dark, like pitch dark. And so this is 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's very early.
Oh, I look over at my brother and it's like, fucking military. Jesus Christ.
This is why we left. Fuck more.
I say we just kind of poke around and get some breakfast, but Kazran's a little excited to find some vendors. He wants some paper.
Let's go ahead and head into the center and see what we can see as far as who's here.
All right. So you walk for not very long. It doesn't take very long at all before you can start to actually hear the sounds through the trees of activity, bustling, and then it is only a few minutes later that the forest trees actually start to make way for this actual clearing that you expect here in the center. The pathway just kind of opens up into this large clearing, and the clearing itself is like couple 100 feet across, and you can actually hear not just the hustle and bustle of military activity, but you actually hear sounds of music and maybe a little laughter and savory aromas of fresh being cooked breakfast. Not just gruel and porridge, but you can smell meats and other things, as even a little bit of that wood smoke coming through. As you open into this clearing on the big west side, there's this giant horizon-back tortoise. Very similar to in Jagal, how certain buildings were fashioned to the back of giant tortoises so that they could be moved or mobile in some way. There's a large goblin family that is attending to repairs of what looks to be some kind of like like tree house on top of the back of a giant tortoise with rope bridges going between different sections and all kinds of things. As there, you can see that they're tending repairs to different things while they wait here in the middle of the grove. On the other side of the clearing, you can see a giant circle of 7 different wagons encircling a large bonfire, um, and then a little rope fence off to the side encircling a bunch of oxen. Back up here. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I wanna go to the vendors. If they're set up. If not, I'll go for food.
I would like a beer and food.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 o'clock somewhere. Come on. I want to look for the instruments and see if there's a vendor that can. Some reason Brutus wants to get an instrument of some sort.
I would like to find an armorer.
Yeah, I'm looking for someone who may be dabbling in the arcane. Shopping trip.
Yeah, just 1 second. Something's not pulling up for me here.
No problem. Down about it. Sorry, she might be right about the beer at 5 a.m. I should probably get whiskey.
Yeah, and coffee. Yeah.
Beer is much too filling this early.
No, I need to be filled.
If she doesn't know, then I'm the grand prize meat eating champion of Jagao. Oh, this camp got lively.
There we go. Yeah, for some reason it wasn't turning on. I had to completely turn it off and back on again. Okay, so you want to head towards the wagons then, I take it?
Yes.
In the kind of center of all the wagons is that big bonfire, and you can see a lot of people circling around the bonfire, kind of sitting there eating and the like. And then there are several people that are kind of posted, around each of the different wagons. You see 2 large bugbear chiefs that are guarding the wagons, as well as a smattering of small Aurora Watch veterans that are kind of about. And then there's a handful of little tables that are set up where merchants are, hawking their wares and the like back and forth, with a couple of people that happen to be in the camp. As you get close to as you get close to the wagons, those 2 bugbear chiefs kind of eye you directly, and you can kind of see that they take a very defensive stance with one hand on the hilts of the swords that they have at their in their sheaths beside them. They don't say anything; they just watch.
I don't remember what language if I chose bugbear, but I would at least know a few little bugbear things. So I just kind of say good morning to you in bugbear as we're walking by.
As you walk by, as they just kind of look, they just keep their eyes on you, as they seem to be kind of ever present in what they're looking around and seeing, and they just kind of harumph, you know, as you pass by and you greet them.
That harumph is pretty close to bugbear for good day to you.
Uh-huh. Are you sure you didn't just forget to take a shower?
I
Maybe they're
prestidigitate
reacting to
myself
your
clean.
smell.
I'm like, I'm fine. And then when she's not looking, I prestidigitate myself clean.
Are there any crafters or armorers among the vendors?
You can see that there is kind of an area set off to the side where, particularly more where the veterans are hanging around, those Aurora Watch members, as there is someone sharpening like a stack of swords are being kind of sharpened over on one side.
So maybe I go over there and inquire if anyone could make a cloak or bit of armor out of hide.
Armor? Oh, that's a job that'd take a lot of time for that. This is not the kind of place for those things. You've got guild seals from the Aurora Watch?
Yeah, I'm not over there with her at the moment. I don't think any of us do though.
I don't think any of us do, right?
No, that's not something that you don't even really know what. When he asks, you're not really sure what he's talking about.
Well, we're here to help, and we helped Justice. Maybe you guys could do me a little favor. It doesn't have to be a super refined job, just kind of a crude little half cloak. I'd be willing to pay you in the leftover hide from whatever's not needed for it.
He just kind of looks around the camp, like just kind of, big wide arcs of looking around. And it just kind of looks at himself and says, so you want us. Let me be very clear. You want us to make you something. And you're not an Aurora Watch Guild member?
That's correct. But I am a friend to the Aurora Watch.
And it looks like we have time for that, right?
Well, like I said, hopefully it shouldn't take very long. And this hide, whatever is left over, I'm sure you could probably get a pretty good price for it. And I show him like a little bit of the razor embedded moorbounder hide. To
Nice.
sway him a little bit.
So what is this stuff? And you want a cloak made out of this?
Just a little hood and shoulder pads kind of cloak. Not like a cloak. Just like a little quarter cloak.
Well, we could probably work on it in our spare time, but even something that simple, it's going to take some time to properly deal with this in, I don't know, maybe a week.
I don't know if we're staying that long, but maybe you can get
Maybe we can
done.
pick it up on the way back.
Get done what you can, and I'll check on you before we head out. And if it's too long, then I'll pick it up another time, another pass through.
This is some marvelous stuff. And he kind of looks at the pelt and how big it is. So you want me to do this job? You're going to pay me with the rest of this pelt. After I make some shoulder paddy, kind of cloaky something. Okay. And this is the only payment I'm going to get?
No, you can give him some payment. Dude.
I don't know. I don't know how much it would be worth. I mean,
Ask him
I feel
how
like
much it would cost.
how much would it cost in addition to the pelt?
He kind of looks at you a little bit. You and your fancy clothes and that nice little bow you got there. Surely you've got some money.
Ain't getting my money.
I don't even know where that is in my inventory.
It's inventory, and you scroll down. It's near the bottom. Treasure. Each platinum is 10 gold, correct?
That's right. Yep. It's
Oh,
it's tens
okay,
all the
okay.
way down. Yep. 10 coppers, 10 silver, 10. Or sorry, 10 silver is 1
Love a
gold. 10
consistent
gold is
currency
1
system.
platinum, etc. Yep. He's just sitting there with a wry smile and kind of like a little twinkle in his eyes. His head's a little cocked. You know, his shoulders are kind of, risen up a little bit. You know, he's just kind of holding his hands out to the side. Well, money? You've got some?
I've got some. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm on a long journey that may or may not pay anything.
Yeah, it sounds like this job I'm getting offered.
Slade.
Alright, how about I don't know the value of the gold in comparison to like give me like how much would a beer cost?
Beer. A beer's probably coppers, maybe silver, depending on what we're dealing with or the rarity, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Coppers
So
to
like
silvers.
20 gold pieces?
Yeah,
Too
I mean
much?
that's a, I mean 20 gold.
A regular cloak is 3 gold.
Yeah, but this is like a custom.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know. A regular
Okay.
cloak is 3 gold.
So 10 gold, maybe.
And you're providing materials.
And I'm providing materials. 5 gold?
Why is
I
your
don't
price
know.
keep going? Yeah, you're so
I'm
random.
I'm asking you for your expertise, Wolfen. As an aside.
Oh, I'd lowball him first. And then see what he
Alright.
counters with. That's, you know.
No,
But not insultingly low.
Yeah, not insultingly low.
Okay, so
You should just say
5 gold.
give him, I would say 3 times normal value, so like 9 or 10 gold. You're giving the materials. It's a small amount of what you have there. What's the in this game? Is it 100 silver per gold or 10 silver per gold?
10.
Or
It's
10.
10.
okay,
Yeah, all the iterations are 10. So in this case, it's like pennies, dimes, dollars, and $10, except for the value is like 1700s
Yeah,
value.
I mean, I would, and I would, if you want it fast, then you would pay him a little extra so
Pay
that
him
he would skirt
extras.
his other duties. Not that you
Okay.
ask him to do that, you just.
So maybe offer 5 gold unless it can be done, a little faster than a week, and then I'll double it.
Is that what you actually tell him this time?
Yes.
Alright, 5 gold for cloak. You giving me the materials. 10 gold if I can put a little rush job on it. How fast is fast for you?
2 days. 2 days.
2 days, 10 gold. Make it 15.
Deal.
15 in 2 days. Well, he just kind of leans back. You see him crack his back a little bit, like by pushing his shoulder blades together, and kind of nudges his partner. It looks like you're doing all my work for 2 days.
Good.
Alright, 2 days. If you live that long. I'll take the money up front, though.
I'm at half up front and half when it's delivered.
There you go.
You're welcome to find someone else willing to do it. Somewhere in the next week's worth of drive through all the fun festivities going on the outside, by all means. I'll take my 15.
Fine, but if you rip me off, you'll be paying with your life.
Oh!
Whoa. This is not the place to be saying that.
Roll me an intimidation check.
In a military camp, mind you. I go away. I'm like, not my friend.
I walked over here all by myself. You're not even near me.
I,
You're drinking a beer somewhere.
damn right. Glad too. Don't get murdered by a blacksmith.
You can just see him kind of eye you up and down a little. Don't worry, sweetheart. I welcome it.
Shopping trips of the past.
Alright, now you're going to stand over here and watch me do it this whole time, make it take longer, or you're going to let me do my thing?
No, I'm walking back over to find the other guys and breakfast. After I pay him the 15 gold and get rid of this more bounder hide.
Yep.
Sorry, that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, you are just a great customer, Riv. I want you to be buying from my enterprises everywhere.
Yeah,
Pay
so
before
just
the
like
task
with
is complete.
several of the other things, like in the boxes, the text boxes for gold and the like, you just have to click it and type stuff. It doesn't, like, there's no cursor, so yeah.
Okay, I got
Which is annoying.
Sorry.
And then you can, like, right click on items in your inventory, and in this case, you can just delete it since you're giving it to him.
Yeah, I did. Got that part.
Alright, interesting. He didn't actually have a very good chance of doing that, so of working on it at all. So it's kind of neat that it worked out.
Now if we make it back.
Yeah, he'll be the first to die by the next demon lord.
I mean, in 2 days we could be in another town. Who knows?
All right, what else are we gonna do?
I'm looking for arcane supplies.
I'm looking for the entertainment, the music guys, and the people dancing around and goofing off, and I'm in the market for a pan flute.
You are in the wrong place.
Well, there is a handful of people around. There's a pretty big bonfire in this giant circle of wagons, and there's quite a few people sitting on looks like logs that have been cut in half and wedged in to be used as benches, all over the place, around there. And there's 10, 15 people just sitting there eating and talking, and there's a couple people kind of off to the side. They're playing some music. They don't look to be like they don't look to be like part of the vendors so much as they're just there off to the side making music here in the morning. And but there's no telling what some of the actual individual vendors might have if you want to browse around.
Yeah, I'm just browsing around to see if any of them have a. I don't know why, but
So what kind of Kaz, what kind of things were you looking for again?
Paper and ink specifically.
Paper.
But if they got some scrolls, I wouldn't mind. I doubt I can afford any rummaging through them. And maybe if this person can also identify a magical item, I'll call Rivka over.
You can kind of browse around. This looks to be a lot more like a. As you're kind of looking around, there's a lot of general store kind of goods sitting about, kind of in the middle of what you'd expect in the middle of a military camp for one thing. But these wagons, come and go as people go out and hunt stuff and bring it back. They'll sell their meats. They'll go off and they'll find stuff. They'll bring it back. They'll sell it. There's a few traders that even do the kind of if I go way off and buy things that you can't get in certain places, maybe they'll bring it in and try to sell it for some jacked up prices for from wherever they got it way off. There might be some more luxury goods and that kind of thing from that kind of vendor. There isn't just ye old magic shop there to see, but you do see a guy that's got some a stack of parchment and some ink on his table.
Let's start with him. It's like, how much of that paper do you have?
Oh, paper here. I've got a good handful of sheets. You need some clerical work as well?
No, it's more for a spellbook inscription.
Spellbook inscription. Well, that's beyond my capabilities as far as that goes, so I'll have to leave you to that. But paper, I've got.
I mean, my character would know this. Do I need special paper?
You need reasonable quality paper. So just your run-of-the-mill, something you can just scribble on isn't, particularly in the medieval times, not always the best. But this seems to be actually pretty decent issued stuff that would work. And he says that these got about 22 pages of paper.
Oh, I just know I need 50 gold worth. How much? What's the gold per page ratio there?
You need 50 gold worth of paper?
I think that's to inscribe a spell. I'm gonna have to crack open the book.
Let me look at that, because I don't. That's kind of an important detail. I'm going to take a look at that. Spell book. Copying a spell into the book.
Are you attempting to create your own spell, or do you know this spell and you just need it written down for...
I have a scroll, and then I can copy from that scroll into my
I
spell
see.
book.
Do you have to copy from the scroll into the spell book in order to cast the spell, or...
If I want it to be part of my spell book, I do. If I just
I
cast the
see.
scroll will disappear.
Gotcha, gotcha.
When you level up, you get a couple, like every time you level up, you get some kind of free entries into your spell book, like as your, I guess as a wizard, it's all study, right? That across the course of your leveling, you study and come up with 2 new spells that you didn't know before in the time it takes you to level, and that you can put in your spell book. And then, yeah, you copy from scrolls or other spell books.
So you're creating the spell book.
Yeah, and so it does say 50 gold. You need the 50 gold in cost, and it says it's for not necessarily in paper. So it's in ink and paper and any other things that might be needed as a part of the trial and error of the spell. So some of that could be candles and chalk or other small components, things that doesn't necessarily have to be paper, but you definitely need paper for it. So some of how many pages is going to go into the spell book, and then also some for the experimentation of getting it to work right.
I see. So then I guess the question that we're on is 22 pages enough?
22 pages is only like 2.5 gold worth of paper.
Okay.
On just the paper side of things. But
Gotcha.
usually a page per spell level, I think, is what you actually need. With some experimentation, like that'd be enough paper to experiment several times on a spell, and also to write one in, if you had other components that all still add up to 50 gold. Some fine inks and any other secondary components that would be needed as a part of that. So I guess the best way, rather than just ask how many sheets of paper he has, it'd be more of like just to kind of handle it in the future on when we're looking at vendors and things like that. We might just I'll kind of, if we know that that's the purpose of the purchase, we'll just kind of tally up how much gold worth of supplies that he might have in total, that would kind of go to something like that: candles, chalk, vials of newt. I don't know, like whatever, like that might be needed for that kind of thing.
I'm at a Staples right now, so I take it none of that.
Get your newt's blood and your spider's eye and your all your components and things. So with paper, he's got some fine ink, and a handful of other more like mundane items that could be useful. We could say that he's got about 30 gold worth of total spell materials.
Yeah, I buy that.
Okay. 30 gold worth of spell materials.
I asked, does he know any casters or got any magic shops around? Any wagons who may be coming back?
As the ones you'll find might have something of magical value, more happenstance than by design. A lot of that's regulated. some of it that isn't regulated has already been soaked up for the reserves. Most anything that can be put to use in battle, it's being put to use in battle.
I understand. No one that can identify items that may have magical properties?
We might have one of the Aurora Watch guards that has some specialty in that area. I wouldn't think that any of us here, these wagons, have that kind of ability, though.
Yeah, I think him for his time.
All right. As for Brutus, looking around for some musical instruments, you're looking for a flute specifically, right?
A pan flute. Like a Psalm fear.
Well, that's a very unlikely roll. So yeah, it actually turns out that there is one of the particular vendors has a handful of different musical instruments. Set of drums, something that resembles a lute of some sort, pan flute, a couple of other things. There's like a reed flute, like made of multiple links of different reed. Um, Very unusual for this part of the world to have a vendor that has that, but there is indeed one of the traveling merchants on their way. Kind of been stuck here for the last little bit, and still has that in stock.
Yeah, I offer him 20 gold for a pan flute.
You're gonna get mugged throwing around that kind of money.
Let me see how much a flute actually costs.
It's 12 gold for a pan flute in an established area.
Oh wow, okay. I figured that would be way less. Never mind.
Yep. Never mind. I was like, wait a minute.
20 gold and no haggle, huh? Out with it in a fair price.
But have I acquired
Someone
a
who
flute?
would pay 20 gold surely would pay 25 gold.
Damn it! I humph and turn around to walk away.
You guys are so bad at buying things.
Hey, whoa now. Surely your interest isn't that meager. You wouldn't throw out such an offer if you were just willing to walk away with at least a conversation.
I say I'm a man of few words. A lizard of few words.
A lizard, a few words, but many golds. How about 22 gold?
I tell him
I sent a message to his head. Say 19.
I'm interested as a student, but perhaps I don't have the time, and perhaps the price barrier is enough for me to decline. And I bow and turn around again.
Well, with a student, you might need a teacher. Surely those lessons might be worth that extra couple of gold.
Nah, I just keep walking, looking around as if I'm going to do something else.
Well, come on now, strangers. You can't leave me in the dark with no conversation. You won't even entertain my offer?
I have 20 gold that I'm willing to part with for a pan flute, if you have one.
Well, as by chance I do.
I plop the gold down with my hand still on it.
Well, if you say so, I guess 20 gold is a fair price even here, in the midst of whatever is to come. Very well, 20 gold.
Okay, I thank him. And I just type in a new number on my gold. Okay, done.
Alright, on the party sheet, I will put in a pan flute.
Oh, I would like to grab a healer's kit if I could.
Actually, I can put it right there. I can put it in the chat. That's even better. Or you can just drag it into your inventory, I think. I think that works.
Seems to have worked.
What were you need a healer's kit?
It doesn't have any weight, but that's
Wait, it doesn't
Made
have
of
a...
bamboo.
yeah, I know it's very light. So as a I just go off wandering around, messing around with the pan flute. This is an instrument that the guys in my monastery, I don't know, my monk group, the way of the whatever, they play this pan flute. So I'm gonna mess around with it.
Monk quartet.
A monkette.
Now, out of character, I'm going to ask: does your character get an instrument as a starting piece of equipment?
It was a possibility, but I didn't start with one, so.
Okay.
Okay, it didn't work right, so I just copied over the item directly instead of... Because it's like item : instead of the actual item. I don't know if it's a link instead of the actual item itself or something, because I did it that way. So I just deleted it and actually dragged it directly to your inventory. So,
All right, thank you.
so it's there working now. Okay, let's see. Healer's kit, that was the other thing I was looking at. There's actually a good number of these that are strung out on one of the tables, as well as you can see that this person has several vials of red liquid, several healer's kits, some hunting traps, and several other like survival items like rope and rations and rolled up blankets and a couple of backpacks that are all stacked up on his table.
How much for the potions? Are those, yeah, those are healing potions. How much for the potions?
Why, yes, sir, these indeed are healing potions. The best ones you'll find out of any city, I promise you that. Fix you right up, even when the worst things knock you down. Why, In any city you might find these for 50 gold. Here, in the middle of nowhere? Well, surely that comes with a premium. What might you pay for such fine wares?
Is that 50 each?
Yeah, they're 50 each.
Okay.
Roll a intelligence check. You are reasonably certain that they do cost about 50 gold in the city, but you're not really sure, like, if what the price, like, you can't really come up with a good formula for what the price difference might be out here.
Yeah, we have none. How many are on the table?
Ooh, that's a good question. Not many. Not many.
Yeah, I was surprised to see any, to be honest.
There is one. There is but one.
I'd say 75 if you throw in a healer's kit with it.
75. Probably the last potion in all of Jorhas. Ah. Healer's kit. Healer's kit. Well, I think I'll take that deal.
Well, there you go.
Alright, so I'm going to put this... I'm going to try to just put it in the party sheet instead, because that did not... Linking it in chat didn't work right.
I'm gonna take the healer's kit, but I'm gonna give. Yeah, you gotta drag it from the square, but I'm gonna give the healing potion to Balasar.
Alright, I put it in... You gotta drag it from the square? What are you talking about?
With the little red square thing there. Like, you can pull it from the little inventory thing, and it looks like it's dragging something, but it doesn't. But if you grab the little red square...
Oh, yeah. The... With the, like, circle in it?
Yeah, I don't... Oh, yeah, the potion. Yeah, Wolfen, would you grab the potion? So I hand it off to you.
No, it's not identified.
That I can... Okay, yeah, that I can do.
I guess you'll give that to me when you meet me for breakfast.
Drad, I have a question. I'm looking at my character sheet, and I don't understand the difference between key-fueled attack and martial arts. Because when I read martial arts, it's like when you attack, when you use the attack action with an unarmed strike or monk weapon, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action. But then under key-fueled, it says if you spend one key point, you can make one attack with your unarmed strike as a bonus action. I don't understand the difference. They both seem like only one attack, but one is free and one spends a key. I guess is the key fueled when we do two attacks?
No,
I'm
so
confused.
like there are other things you can do with your action with key that are not the martial arts attack. There's the
Cunning palm.
no, yeah, well that there you'll get that potentially later, but there's the oh shoot, I forgot the names of them all. There's one that lets you take this as the dodge action. Essentially, there's one that gives you like a dash action that lets you use them as a. Those are bonus action things. But yeah, there are some actions that you can take that use key. And then if you use those actions that use key, then you can use your bonus action to attack. Normally you can only use your bonus action to attack if you take the attack action itself.
I see.
So that's like one of the little nuances. And then with martial arts, you can use a key as a part of your attack action to get 2 attacks with your bonus action.
Got you.
But which is but that's
That's the flurry of blows.
That's the flurry of blows. Yep. Trying to remember the things that all the things that you can use key on at this stage. Flurry of blows is one of them. Okay, patient defense and step of the wind let you use either dodge or disengage or dash as bonus action, so that's not one of them. So I think it's going to be... You don't have... Let's see, deflect missiles. Technically you can use a key to throw the missile back at them. But that's a reaction, not an action. Yeah, I'm actually surprised because I thought that you had something that was not one of those yet. You don't have the recovery thing yet, do you? The
There's at level 4. There's a quickened healing optional one. Yeah, I see it here. Maybe that or.
And then, like at level 6, you get Wholeness of Body, which allows you to use as an action to regain hit points equal to your monk level, 3 times your monk level. And that takes. Well, that doesn't take a key point, though. Stunning Fist is at some point. Stunning Strike is at level 5.
Sorry to derail us.
No worries.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it. Some of the other things. Some of the other subclasses or whatever, some of the. Like your open hand, right? Some of
Mm-hmm.
the others have actions that they can do. Like there's the elemental monk that can do like a fire cone attack as part of it's just an action, but it's not an attack. It's like just like you breathe fire, so to speak, and it costs a key to do it. So normally when you use that, you wouldn't have that ability unless you also had like because you didn't do the attack action, you wouldn't get a bonus action to attack. But if you did that with the key fueled attack, it says, "Oh, you spent key. You can use your bonus action to attack anyway." That's kind of the benefit of it. If anything that you get that would require an action to use that isn't part of an attack, that isn't like an attack action, it allows you to get a bonus action attack when you normally would not have had one.
Okay.
I just don't see many under your specific subclass that actually becomes relevant because a lot of yours are attacks. Let's see. To kind of get back on track, we were let's see purchase. So what else were we doing here in the? We've kind of talked to some different vendors. Is there anyone else looking to look for something or uh, actually start talking to anybody outside of purchase of goods?
I would say at this point, maybe we should eat and talk about what we're going to do, how long we're going to stay.
You kind of talk together. All right. So you kind of there's a over near the big bonfire. There's several people cooking different things. One person in particular is I lost track of him. Ah, yeah, here we are. You can see a drow that is tending a cooking station. They're in a very rugged outfit, but you can see large slabs of mastodon meat being roasted on spits near the giant bonfire, as well as a station with pots of boiling water where rice is being prepared.
I'm sold.
And so there's also another little station over there that's like giant woks where large bits of vegetable and mushrooms are being cooked simultaneously. And the smell is something only could be dreamed of here in such a vast place, far from what is civilization.
I'm just imagining I already see Balasar with a big bowl sitting down eating, so
Yeah, I'm having a good breakfast.
I am going to follow his lead there. And I'm kind of walking that way. I'm just kind of keeping a lookout for Rev and Zeb just to get them. Or I'm sorry, wrong names, but you know what I mean. Brutus and Thena, and kind of getting everybody to the same location.
Yep. So you get these large rice bowls. It looks like large bits of stir fry with squash and peppers and some kind of onions, and these large slabs of mastodon that are cut up into into some nice strips on top of a bed of rice as they're serving them out to each of you. This food is particularly filling, and just the quality of it is something beyond anything you've even had in town. As you eat it, you feel emboldened and stronger.
Well, they never fed us like this, I say to Balasar.
I mean, I'm doing okay now, private sector.
Mm-hmm. So everyone else joined us.
Can we ask the chef where the meat was gotten from?
Oh man, are we eating demon meats?
Nah, this is the best mastodon that you can find. Anywhere outside of Asarius, you won't find any better. One of the perks of this particular location is all the hunters from all around bring their prize, their quarry, and they sell it. And we get first pick, first cut of the freshest, of the most recent batches. I fear there won't be much, so savor here in the future, so savor what you can while you can.
I just mentioned, like, your hunters good fighters? Because they've got competition for those things.
Many were. And you can see that he kind of reaches in and into one of the big pots of vegetables, and he takes out a big scoop, and he just kind of throws it over his shoulder. Many were.
Indeed. So as everyone gets here, I say, especially looking at Athena, it's like, we should probably not stay any longer than a day. Should probably definitely get out before a day.
He's giving you a chance there. She's got a cookie in her mouth. I mean, rice.
So what have you guys been up to, man? I'm doing breakfast.
I show off my pan flute.
Oh God! Stop! Whirly.
Well,
Whirly.
we should maybe stick around long enough to see if they need any help here.
Yeah, definitely one day is probably enough.
Well,
totally.
as the information gatherer, have I overheard anything while I've been sitting here eating breakfast at the communal breakfast place?
Actually, while you're just sitting here in perceiving, listen about
Just listening.
the there's kind of been a bit of a bustle because there's a couple of dryads that are sitting on that have been wandering around the bonfire talking with different people known as the Acorn Sisters. Lanada and Rober are caretakers of this particular forest, and despite the fact that you're burning wood around a bonfire, they seem to be okay with it as long as the wood is already dead, which the caretakers of this camp know very well that that's important. And there's been a lot of customary exchange of food, drink, and song with them, in particular, in appreciation for their hospitality.
Drad, I'm sorry, one more derailment. I'm trying to understand my armor class. So my lizard has tough, scaly skin, and when he's not wearing armor, he gets that bonus. Do I have to choose that or the monk way of doing it? Because this lizard skin is supposed to start as a base of 13 plus dex bonus, and then the monk way is like base of 10 plus dex plus whiz. But either way, neither of those end up to be 16, which is what's listed there, so I'm confused.
They are a so whenever there's multiple calculations, you get to choose which calculation you choose, but it is a either or kind of concept.
Well, I think that the lizard one ends up being better, right? I mean, if I get
I mean,
my dex
13 plus
bonus, is
dex
my
mod
dex
is
bonus
pretty
plus 6? That should be a 19, right?
Your dex bonus is a +4.
It says plus 6 on my sheet. What am I?
That's
Do I not?
you're looking at the saves where you're proficient
Oh,
in saves.
I see. So,
Yeah.
so it could be 17 that way.
Yeah,
Then.
so 4 plus your wisdom of 2 is so you have a +2 wisdom and a +4 dex, which gives you a +6.
Does that improve as the monk levels, or is that it?
It improves as your I mean, because it's literally just dex. I mean, it's just
Oh,
the
as dex
calculation
just
of
keeps
10
going up.
plus dex plus wisdom. So as those go up,
So a long time ago in D&D, scores of 18 were like the best, and I guess characters could eventually maybe get to 25, but that was like godly. So I don't know what's in this version. What do those scores mean?
20 is the usual cap. And every 4 levels you get an ability score increase, and you get to choose whether that that's the cap for your natural. 20 is the cap for your natural progression, and then every 4 levels you get +2 that can be distributed as you choose, or you can give it up to take a feat instead. The other, like magical items can also enhance stats that are separate from the natural cap.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
I tell Tina that that dagger that you got definitely seems magical. I was told some of the Aurora guards may be able to identify or point you in the direction of someone who could identify that. But it would cost some gold, I'm sure.
probably go with her, Gosrin. Keep her out of trouble, and use our Aurora Guard experience to give some in.
Not sure if the dryads could or not.
So dryads are offshoot. Sorry, dryads are like offshoots of elves. Is that
Dryads are typically keepers of the wood.
They're
right?
like
But originally they were elves plus magic, right?
not necessarily originally elves. They are. No, I don't think that that's necessarily true about them being elves originally. But I mean, in general, they're considered forest spirits, that are physical beings, and so they're tied to some. So they're like spirits that are made real by their connection to the forest in some way. So generally speaking, a dryad will have a tree that is their home tree or whatever.
Bonded tree.
Yeah, that they are connected to, and those bonded trees are what give them their physical form in the material plane, whatever, in this place in the real world. But they're like nymphs and dryads and other forest spirits made life, in a way, made into life.
Okay.
Scarf for my breakfast. Scarf, scarf, scarf.
Yeah, they're definitely not. Unlike
They're
like a
fun.
race, dryads are not natural; they're supernatural, in that regard.
Okay, Kaz, you wanted to see about getting this dagger identified, maybe?
It's up to you. It's your dagger. Be your queen.
Well, we could ask around at least and see if anybody would even be able to.
So, where would you like to start with? Or where would you like to start?
I suppose they mentioned the Aurora Guard, so I suppose someone who looks somewhat official.
I mean, we could always go back and ask the captain, Hicks, and see if he can point us in the right direction, but he's also probably pretty busy right now.
Yeah, I just found the first official looking kind of person I see. It's not someone just on guard duty, but I suppose it's a start.
Yeah, there's a handful, particularly even over near where those crafters were, where they were sharpening knives and working on some stuff. Looks like they were perhaps doing repairs. There was a handful of those Aurora Watch veterans in that area already. If you want to go ahead and, if that's what you would like to start with.
Sure.
Okay, so you kind of approach those Aurora Watch Guard members, and they are, they don't look to be so much on duty as they're just, as they would be set to some kind of task otherwise, especially with the goings on. You can see there's a lot of the watch members that are, definitely driven in a particular thing that they're doing, and then there's a handful that are kind of just taking their rotation of break, so to speak. And so you approach them and ask. And when you go to ask them what, is there someone that does these kind of services? Is there any Aurora Watch members that would do that? And so they do have a few casters. They usually are trying to save a lot of their resources for the defense should it be needed. And the feeling is that the need might be imminent, but there might be a few that would be willing. This is, what do you have? What are you looking for?
Well, we just have a small item that we want to learn more about. It seems to operate very well.
Small item. And I know you're trying to be vague a little here, but is this something that's going to help in the defense, should it need be? Something that will help vanquish the foes of the Aurora Watch? Or is this a trinket of, on a value-finding mission?
Sorry.
It has spilled blood of your enemies already. We would like to learn more about it.
Oh, spilled blood. So a weapon of some sort.
Indeed.
It will help more if we know when and how to use it effectively.
Well, you mind giving me a look?
It's up to Athena.
Sure.
All right. So you
Show him the
you want to show it
refined
to him?
dagger.
All right. So he takes a look at it here. Why, this is a blade of kind of balances it around. It's this dagger. It seems unnaturally clean, and yes, this does seem to be some kind of mastercraft quality item of some sort, and based on its balance, and it seems to be of make beyond the skills of the normal dagger. And you think it to be magical of some sort?
Yes.
And what of its owner, or at least previous owners?
The only thing we know is the name.
Yeah, I see that here. Waste Walker. That name sounds familiar. I know that I've seen someone of that name before.
Recently?
I think so, yes. Can't quite place it. What if you were to find their owner, the owner of this item? Would you return it, or would you keep it? Is this a finders keepers kind of situation?
I fear the original owner is dead. Um, this could be a family member of that. I do not know.
I see.
I think it depends on whether we need it or not. If it's needed to counter the foes for the aid of everyone, then it seems better for us to keep it than returning it to sit on a shelf somewhere as a heirloom.
Well, I think you have the right of it. And he kind of flips it over, grabs it by the blade, and kind of offers it back out to you. Waste Walker. I know I've heard that name recently. He kind of turns over to one of the other guard members that are a handful of feet away, and he goes, "Hey, didn't we have a Waste Walker come through here?" More than one. Well, the one that left, I guess it was midday yesterday, was headed out east with a troop of some other folks. But I think there's a couple others somewhere near here. They might be around the fire somewhere. Last I saw them, a couple of big hulking folk. Waste Walkers. You sure of that? Sure as I am anything. So, the guy that was talking to the other is just kind of chuckles at that. I said, based on that, then it could be a big fat lie, or he didn't know shit. So, but it seems like something might be worth investigating.
Thank you for the information.
As we kind of walk away, assuming that's what we're doing, I sent a raven kind of going behind us to send a message. Let's assume they were a day behind us. Can I? I just want to see if I can see through my raven's eyes. My raven close enough to interact with Summon somewhere.
What is the range on your being able to actually use the Raven's eyes?
Yeah, let me look.
I think you were out of there pretty... Actually, I don't know. To be honest, I
What?
don't know.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be out of range, but if they're here and it followed them or stayed with them, then maybe it would be close. But let me. Where is my thing?
Oh yeah, like it has to be within 100 feet of you, I think, to continue to commute. Like you get feelings beyond 100 feet, but you can't communicate with language when it's far away from you.
Yeah, basically, I was checking to see is it within 100 feet of me.
It is not. No.
Okay, but that's still not very. Still kind of a small number. So I don't even really know if it's still summoned or not.
You can send feelings or in intonations, but you don't necessarily get. You can't give it commands or communicate like you can't communicate telepathically like you were talking to it when it's far away. But you can get stuff from it and send stuff to it in a way. And so you can, when you kind of tap into that source, you feel it's still there. It is still traveling north, to your knowledge.
All right, I'll just let it be. And I guess we go towards where I'm assuming he told us where those other people were. The crap.
Well, he said they were big hulking fellows, so should be easy to spot.
Yeah, I kind of glanced around too and looked for. One of them was oh, I forget every time. So it wasn't a sea elf, but it was what was it
The water genasi?
Yeah,
You're talking about
genasi.
Io? Yeah.
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 Maybe we should take Balasar with us in case these big hulking fellas don't like us too much. Wouldn't hurt to have someone big and hulking on our side of the conversation either.
We were on fairly friendly terms with them.
I'm not even at the bar anymore. I'm out wandering walkabout.
Yeah, but if you saw people you recognize as that group, I mean, we all knew I sent a raven out to warn them. I just don't know how they would have freaking passed us up and already
Ooh,
be
dinner.
heading east.
Raven.
Yeah. So as you kind of look around, it's pretty evident to see, like when you know what you're looking for, you're looking specifically for two hulking. They didn't even say what race they are, but there are some couple of very large, brutish-looking humans that are sitting next to the fire back around the bonfire area. But nothing that reminds you of the group that you have encountered back in Jigao.
Right. Oh, I thought are we on separate? The big hulking guys are the waste walker guys, maybe, potentially.
Potentially.
I have this name written down, and Lord, I feel like I wrote it when I was drunk. Kirkali?
Yeah, Kertrali waste walker.
Kirkali, yeah.
Yes.
And was that the drow?
No.
No.
Kirchali was...
It's written on the dagger.
That's what was written on the dagger, was the Waste Walker. This is the name of the Waste Walker.
Oh, but I knew one of the other group was a waste walker.
That's right. Irvin which is the human male, the one
In
that was in the
Io's
pie
group?
was in Io's group. Yeah, one of the he's the one that competed in the pie eating contest.
I was okay.
Yeah,
I was not aware of
competed.
that. Okay.
He was kind of small, frail, young. I mean, he wasn't like super skinny, that kind of frail, but he wasn't like he had mentioned his clan were a bunch of his clan was a bunch of known wandering berserkers.
Okay, so the Waste Walkers get around.
Yeah, so they were a clan that he was a part of. And he was the more. He had taken a more civilized approach and had left the clan to join the other group.
Let's not mention that we have this dagger when we ask them questions about Kershali,
I wasn't
just
even
in case.
planning on asking questions about Kershali, but I can follow your lead. I was expecting to go try to get this dagger identified.
Oh, so the guy that looked at it was not. Did he point us to other people who could maybe identify it further?
Yeah, he said there was some casters. I'm just assuming it was. He did mention where they went, where they were.
Oh, okay.
They'd probably be in the patrols or out and about in on some other current duty at the moment, but he didn't necessarily point you to them, other than to say that they would be on patrols or out doing other duties.
Oh, okay.
He
But
probably
he
would have
did
told
point
you,
us to
though,
where.
perhaps the badge to look for their rank that would
Signify them
would
as
signify
casters.
which ones that they were. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, let's go see if we can find some of those casters.
All right. So you want to head out of the how would you want to go about that? I guess.
Um, well, I would assume the patrols are walking around the forest, either setting up defenses still or, um, doing other things to prep for anything that might be coming. So maybe just head towards the trees and start kind of walking around them to see any patrols.
Okay. Just try to head off a patrol as they come around.
Yeah.
Okay. It wouldn't take too long, I don't think, before you as you kind of leave the center of the open clearing. As you've been kind of maneuvering around, you've found that there is a significant number of, like, you had saw dozens just as you had entered in the edge of that ring, and just as seeing people come and go and come and go, and all the different faces. There's probably at least 100, if not more, Aurora Watch guards scattered throughout the grove and the clearings. And so it does not take long at all for those watches, for those big patrols to move around.
So we come across a watch and we look around for um, any of them that might have the caster insignia.
Oddly enough, the first patrol you see as you walk around is actually headed by Captain Hicks. As Captain Hicks walks around, he kind of notices you. Leaving so soon, adventurers. Wasn't that much help after all, were you?
Well, actually, we were looking for someone who might be able to help us help you.
All right, you have me intrigued. What's your business then?
We need someone who might have some arcane knowledge to help us identify a weapon so that we can use it to utmost efficiency.
I got some members of my crew that might could help you. And what's kind of the offer here?
But he's in our pockets, Riv. Get your hand out of my pocket. We want free services. Okay, I don't know what it usually would cost for their services or time.
Well,
We'll
quite
just tell
frankly, your gold doesn't bring people back from the dead.
him.
What are you willing to commit for the use of our services?
You gonna push to work? I'm letting it be up to Thina.
Camp full of soldiers, bound chicken. What? No.
Wow.
Mm.
Well, we can set up a pole by the bonfire and put Balasar up there to entertain your troops for a
No,
couple of
guys, get
nights.
on with it. Just try
What?
to
Come
tell them that
on.
you'll. Tell them that we are. If there's trouble, we'll fight with them. Um.
While we can't commit indefinitely to your calls, while we're here, we will for sure fight if you need us, and perhaps we can stay a little longer to aid you with some defenses and setup.
There we go.
And while we can't bring anyone back from the dead, perhaps we can help prevent more deaths.
You can see him kind of nod his head a little bit. Okay, so your fleeting attendance in our illustrious location. We will be here should the call arise. And where do you head hereafter? You're off to research, was it?
Yes.
Yes.
So you head to the belly of the beast itself. And there, while researching, as you see, he puts lots of emphasis on that word.
I see the air quotes.
I can hear the air quotes.
While you're researching, what kind of commitment can you give to the Aurora Watch? What kind of friend are you to us?
There's already a whole lot of dead demons on the road that would not have been dead.
Dead demons, huh? So you saved a scout, and you killed some demons.
You have no idea.
Well, why don't you enlighten me?
RP the shit out of this, guys.
He won't believe us.
Doesn't matter. Tell him the true.
You got things that need killing. We can kill it. Maybe
You
it's
see, he kind of
profitable for
crosses
both
his
of us.
arms for just a moment. And then he asks, you can see that he kind of puts up his hand with one finger up just one moment, and then off to the side, and he makes a fist, and then everyone behind him in unison stands at attention at ready. And we need your help killing these things. It's very much like out of the movie 300, you know, like, these are professionals, right? This is their profession.
Come across what, no less than 2 groups of
Well, if he
people
really
just
needs
dead?
convincing, I'll tell him to. Maybe you should have a seat while I regale you with the stories of our adventures so far.
I'm fine to stand, but regale away.
A long, long time ago.
I'm so happy I chose.
To stay like the two most like we're the face of the group right now. Me and Thina. And this
Well,
is
it all started when I was minding my own business in Jigao, and the elder of the city came to me with a request to help
And
these
you said yes.
lost little pups make it to Bazazan without dying. And we started off on our journey, um, but we didn't get but a day and a half before meeting a uh, was the first group like all the dead corpses. I don't have notes.
it's
I can't
it's
remember.
it's funny because after like several weeks of killing all these various demons, they do blend together. Let me grab my notes. I know I have Urdak blood and Hezru blood.
The very first encounter you had when you left Jagao was the Aurora Watch Guard being assaulted by a Hezru. Or they were
Oh,
harrying one together, right? And then you helped them kill the Hezru.
how many Aurora Watch guards were there? They're like 11, right? Or wasn't it a decent number?
Yeah, there was, I think just under 10, but yeah, something like that.
Okay, 8 maybe, 8 or so. Aurora Watch members that were almost dead, being chased and beaten down by a group of um, Hezru, and we rescued them. And then we continued on our way, and then we found a large group of dead bodies. When we began investigating that, a demon came out of a was it a demon that came out of a corpse?
They were fiends, yeah, but they were
Fiends.
little
Okay.
imps.
I pressed to digitate while she's talking the things that we were attacking because we may not actually know all of their names because they didn't have it wasn't written over their head IRL.
Right.
So an illusionary image that can fit in my hand and last until the end of my next turn. So I hold out my hand and he sees just a small image of the things that we were fighting, and I'm kind of giving the visual of everything that was happening from what she's saying.
And then we traveled further where we met Justice, who was being hunted by these large moorbounders, which we already told you about a little bit. And then after we saved her, we continued on and met with a fiend-like bird and other fiends. And after we disposed of them, we were from far off. We could see a group of mammoths, mastodons being chased by other bird-like demon fiends, and then we finally made it here.
And I show the little image of us giving Justice our only healing pot.
So you tell me if you need our help or not.
Roll a persuasion check.
That
Come on,
damn
with
charisma.
with the light show?
With advantage. Actually, go ahead.
Oh.
18. Okay, roll it one more time, see if it's better than 18.
With advantage?
No, just
No,
roll
just
a
roll
single
one more because it
time.
means roll.
Yeah, and
Just
then
roll another, yeah.
we'll see if it's better or not. If it's so we'll take the better of the two. So 18 plus 1, so 19 persuasion. He's sitting there staring you down for a little bit. He's kind of just bobbing his head just a little bit. Everyone behind him is standing very much at attention and still and unmoving throughout your story. I see. So the truth comes out. We have heroes in our midst.
He's convinced.
Wait, is that's sarcasm, right? He's being sarcastic.
Can't tell.
He's just there kind of nodding his head. I thought as much, but you seemed more suspicious than truthful. But the truth came out. Well, hail to you, heroes. Yes. Yes, we will help.
We did it.
Out of character, I say, good job, Rivka. In character, though, I'm waiting for him just to run us down. That's because I still don't. I just assume everyone's a sarcastic and an asshole like me.
So he holds up his hand one more time with a finger up. He says, Drax, why don't you come forward and help these folks? You see someone from the back walk forward in formation, and they have the large emblazoned medallion above their left chest that signifies that they're one of the spell slingers in the Aurora Watch Guard. As you command, Captain. What is it you'd have me do?
Could you look at this knife and see if you can detect type of magic or use? And I hand him the dagger.
You can see him um, grab it quite gracefully, and in fact, he kind of twirls it through his fingers. You know, like people do with the pins, where they roll them around the fingers and then back up, and then flips it around his thumb, and then rolls it back down through. Yes, quite elegant. Definitely something of interest. Perhaps magical, but quality nonetheless. We shall see. You can see that he goes into a little pouch at his side and he pulls something out. And it looks like a little efflorescent pearl as he holds it. You can see that he holds the dagger in the same hand that the pearl's pinched between two fingers. And then a little glow of red and then orange and then gold starts to encircle around the dagger in his hand. Yes, this is indeed something of magical value. Enchanted to provide strength and accuracy. Something that will wound even those that are normally resilient. This could be of great use.
Yes, we've seen that firsthand.
Let's see, Athena, you have the dagger on you, or the refined dagger. Let's see.
Yes.
You got a screenshot for us. 'Cause we like seeing magical things.
It is a dagger +1.
There you go.
Nice.
Would you like to know about its recent history?
Yes.
You can see that he kind of winces a moment as he hands the dagger back to you. Unfortunately, it was marred with tragedy. The previous owner died in its use, defending those that he cared about. It might be of value to them, but it is definitely value to you. And he kind of hands it over.
Catherine looks just slightly a bit sad after that last part you said. But then immediately tries to hide it.
Very
So
well.
I kind of whisper to Kazrin, "Hey, do you think he could help us with the amulet too, or you want to keep that under wraps?"
Uh, Maybe we should talk to him someplace not right here in front of everyone about the other details.
All right, so I tell him, thank you for your troubles Um, even though you're just obeying orders, we'd like to buy you beer. If you could maybe find us when you're off duty tonight, uh, we'll get you a drink.
You see him kind of nod his head and then make a fist and place it over his heart. One of the special salutes. And then he turns and walks back into his position in the patrol. Captain Hicks is kind of just watching the exchange, nodding his head. The real deal after all. Well, the Lord Commander gave me this and told me to hand it over to those that assisted justice. It seems as though you are they. And he reaches into his bag and pulls out a pair of goggles that he hands over. Put it in the party sheet.
Yeah, whoever doesn't have dark vision, that's great. Oh, Jakar.
So Brutus? Brutus is like the only one that doesn't have dark
I'm
vision.
the blind one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we know just who these need to go to.
Thank you. And thank you for the aid. We'll do our best to aid you further, should the need arise.
May these allow you to see the light even in the dark. We will have much of that in the time to come. Thank you for your service. Your names will be remembered. And then he gives you a salute, and then raises his fist up again, and then kind of pushes it forward, and then everyone kind of goes back into marching stance as they start walking again.
Well, Kaz, we should probably go find the others and give them an update of what just happened.
All this, and it's probably not even like 8 a.m. yet. I agree.
Well, it's probably like lunchtime.
I give a fairly respectful from Kazran bow, kind of nod to Rivka, and like lead the way.
Well,
To
while they've been
Enoch, sorry.
about, I've been walking around looking for these druids. I've never seen a druid before. I'm
Dryad?
Dry.
Yeah, dryad. Yeah, a druid.
No, a druid is a different thing than a dryad.
No, I said druid. Not druid.
So I can't remember if it's a druid or a dryad, so it's a dryad.
It's like saying
Sure.
Dryad with a real southern accent. Dryad.
Brad.
Sorry.
They're not hard to find, actually, especially considering, kind of the very nature of them is that they are very forest-like in their appearance.
Awesome.
They look like beautiful ladies that they're not really necessarily wearing clothes, but they're draped in forestry in a way. But as they walk around, they attract particular notice.
Well, they also have like a siren ability to charm people, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm not trying to like ogle at you or anything, but I could actually use your help with the looking at this pelt I found here, on this sick cat thing.
As you walk up to the sisters and kind of grab their attention, they turn, and in unison, they both talk, using the same voice at the same time. It's a little off-putting at first, as they reach out, and it's a little bit of almost like an echo that happens as a result of them both talking and saying the same words in a similar voice at the same time. You would ask of us, and how
Well,
could we help?
well, I'll show you, and then you can tell me what you think. It might be of concern. I'm not the brightest, but and I just put my pack down and I just freaking like unroll this like the pelt I got like a sleeping bag, just like whip that motherfucker out, Like we found this, and I put out some blood, and then a tooth, and there's more cat, and it had this weird crazy fur, and then this ichor like blood that my friend got in this bottle for me, and we don't know what it is really.
You can hear them both inhale sharply through their teeth. What is this, an offering?
I mean, it could be, but I don't know what it is besides a sick cat pelt.
The flesh of a natural being, stripped
I mean,
after its death.
it might be an unnatural being. I don't think more cats are meant to look like this and have black blood.
Turned abhorrent abominations. That is the suspicion.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's what we'll go for.
Let us see. You can see they kind of, they almost float when they walk a little. They drift. They're very fluid in their motions. And then they kind of part on either side of the pelt that's on the ground, and they each kind of bend. They look as though they're in a bit of reverence. The thing that once was, now gone. To the earth it shall inter. Interesting. Suspicions? Suspicions are right. This is not of nature. This is designed. This is made from beings. The Earth Mother would not make such a thing. It is indeed an abomination. We
What?
refuse it. We do not want.
That's fine. Just wanted to let you know because we found them on the way from Jigao, close to here. So
It is often the way of mortals to meddle in affairs that are not their own, and change things they should not. We commend you. Thank you.
and then I roll it up.
You have rid the world of something that should not be.
Well, thank you for confirming my suspicions. I'll be off now.
As you turn to walk away, you feel a warmth inside of you. Something that you had not quite felt before, that seems to swell from the inside. You're not sure exactly what it is, but it's not exactly normal either.
I just walk off back to the bar and try to find that fuzzy feeling in my belly. I feel successful.
Alright, why don't we take a break? Seems like a good point to take a stop. As everybody else is coming back to camp, and as Balasar's on his way to getting drunk at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Not drunk, just a chaser for the previous beer. So just, yeah.
All right, I'm
No
gonna go ahead
one
and stop
judged
it here.
me